Yo, what is up, guys? It is Oblivion's the here today after like a month hiatus. All right, let me apologize real quick. I only quit because, well, I wouldn't really say quit. It's more so I really only took a break just because TikTok was shutting down. And then I was like, all right, there goes my hopes and dreams. Jokes aside, though, I do have a brand new video today, a brand new story, like how I used to say, like back on Mondays, we do story times, whatnot. The schedule's back on, I'm fully locked in again. I swear to God, this is my last time capping, okay? But yeah, let's get right into it. So this story takes place my sophomore year of high school, okay? And then for once, this didn't happen in school. This actually takes place on a Saturday in September, if I remember correctly, because we had a biology project due the next week, but I stayed at my friend's house anyways. So scratch all that. That's for a future story, all right? But anyways, as I said, it takes place on a Saturday. I wake up, do my normal routine, and then I get a text message from one of my friends, and he asked me like, "Yo, you want to come hang out?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. What time?" I'm pretty sure he said around 2 p.m. So I was like, "All right, I'll be there." So during this time, I didn't have my license. Neither did my one friend who told me to hang out. So we both had this one friend who we'll call Jaden for the story. And then Jaden doesn't have a license neither, but his dad lets him drive his truck anyways. So I hit up Jaden saying like, "Yo, you want to hang out with me?" And then we'll call him Andy for the story. Andy. And he's like, "Yeah, bet I'll be over there in like 20 minutes. Give you some time." And I said, "All right, I can wait that long." So 20 minutes go by, and then Jaden comes by, picks me up. We go to Andy's house, which is like I'd say 8 minutes away from where I lived. Then we just hang out there. We start playing basketball outside on his goal, and yeah, that's pretty much how the day starts. Then after that, like we start thinking of some plans for later on the night because we want more people to come over. So we hit up our all other friends saying like, "Yo, you want to hang out?" Then in total, like I guess you could say we had around like 9 people there. And then at this point, it kind of turns more into kind of a hangout spot, because at this point, like they're inviting some more people over, and altogether at that point, it reaches up to like at least 20 people at one house. So around this point, it's around 7 p.m. And then so many people are starting to leave. Like, of course, I'm not saying this like this wasn't a party at all. It was just us hanging out with like other friends we have from other schools in our district. That's mainly all it was. So people start leaving. This is me, Andy, Jaden, and like three other friends. And then at this point, we're just like chilling in his backyard. And then Andy comes up with a great idea. He's like, "Yo, like, I need a new puff bar." And keep in mind, this is like this is like my version of like Geek Bars or whatever they call it. Because I went to high school and my sophomore year was in 2019, okay? So puff bars were like the biggest thing ever, right? But at this point, like we're all underage. And this was before the time we had connections to the smoke shop in our hometown because I got to that in like halfway through sophomore year and it took place in the beginning of it. So we don't really know what to do. And then for some reason, there weren't many plugs active. Like all the plugs sold at that time was just, weed. And that was it pretty much. They were hopping on the vape craze as too much. But we had this one guy, we'll call him Benny for the story, okay? And then Benny looks a lot older than all of us, right? And then Benny also has a connection to his cousin. And his cousin always used to like get us alcohol and shit. So we call up Benny, and then Benny's like, "Yeah, I'll hit up my cousin. We'll call him Julio for this story. He's like, "I'll call up Julio. I'll be there in a minute." So we wait around, I'd say maybe 15 minutes, and then Benny shows up. And then Benny's like, "All right, like I gotta go see Julio. He just lives down the street. And you guys want to hop in with us?" And now like me and Andy, then Jaden both hop in with him. So altogether, there's like three guys. He drives a suburban, so we could all fit in it, right? So we go up to Julio's house, and like this dude Julio takes forever. Like when I say forever, we were waiting out there for like 20 minutes. And we're just like talking about like what flavors we're gonna get because like Julio, okay, Julio is kind of like a thug, you could say. All right, like if you guys ever saw Julio, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that guy's definitely a thug, low key." But Julio's a cool ass dude. All right, I'm not dissing him in any ways. He just has that appearance. So Julio gets a car. Then like we already know, we got cut straight to chase and ask him for it. And he's like, "Yo," we ask him, "Could you get us some puff bars, maybe?" And he's like, "Fuck our puff bars," because he's old as fuck. All right, he's like 31. So at this point, we tell Julio what flavors we want. I remember mine specifically was banana ice. Oh my god, if you guys ever experienced a banana ice puff bar, you know exactly how good they were. They were like crack to me, okay? That's kind of crazy saying that, but it was generally such a good flavor. Now I know my friend Andy got blue raz. I don't know what Benny got. For some reason Jada didn't smoke. I'm not trying to diss him anyways at that. He's cool for that. But he didn't smoke, so he didn't get any. And then at this point, we go to the smoke shop. Julio walks out of all the puff bars, and then when he gets in the car, Benny asks him another question. He's like, "Yo, could we stop by a Giant so you can get us some jewels?" Man, at this point, I'm like, "Us? Who's us, bro? We did not agree to this." But me being the naive high schooler I was, I instantly gave in because in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, puff bars are disposable, right? You just throw it out once you're done, right? But jewels, you can get the pods for it. Now at this point, my mind is racing because I know Jaden had a jewel at the beginning of high school. Then he gave it away to our friend. We'll call him Terry. All right, he gave it to Terry, but I remember hitting Terry's puff bar. Then it was the mint flavored, and oh my god, was that an amazing flavor! Like, if I could think back to high school, all I think about back in high school are like carts, the banana ice puff bars, and the fucking mint jewel pods, dude. Oh my god. So we go to the gas station. Julio comes out. We get the jewels. Now I'm already started. I'm ripping this bitch already. Like I'm hitting it so much. I'm like, oh my god, dude, this is amazing. And then our other friend Andy's hitting it. Benny's hitting his. Then at this point, we go back to Julio's house. We drop him off. We go back to Andy's house. And then at this point, it becomes a full on fucking cloud in his room. All right, because we all go in his room. He has the fan out and ready because his parents got back. So we're chiefing the fuck out of our puff bars and jewels. And it's legit just a fucking smoke show in there. And then at this point, we're fucking livid. But as the time got closer, like my mom texts me, she's like, "When are you coming back?" Because I already look at the time, it's like fucking 9 p.m. I'm like, oh shit, I'll be back by 11 p.m. because that was the curfew I had was 11 p.m. unfortunately. So I'm waiting. We're just still chiefing, playing 2K. We hop on Madden for a bit. We go outside again to play some basketball, just like a 2v2. And then at this point, night's getting later and I'm getting tired as fuck. So at this point, I'm tired of shit. And I asked Jaden, like, "Yo, JD, you ready to go yet? So you can drop me off." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm getting tired too. Let me go inside and get my wallet real quick." And I'm like, "All right, cool. So a couple minutes go by and I'm like, "What the fuck's taking him so long?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, I had to take a shit." So I'm like, "Whatever." So we get in the car, or the truck, I should say. Sorry. And we start driving out of Andy's neighborhood. We get to a stoplight. And then at that stoplight, Jaden pulls out a jewel and he's like, "Look at what I got." And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, you didn't buy one." He's like, "I know. I stole it." And I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck's wrong with you?" Because stealing a jewel back in 2019 was like the highest peak of crime you could hit. Like murder, fuck that. Fucking assault, don't care. Robbery, don't care. Stealing a jewel though, nah, that's off limits, bro. That's generally off fucking limits. So I'm telling him this, like, "Yo, you gotta give that shit back to whoever you took it from." He's like, "No, I don't even know. Don't even know, bro. I swear." So I'm like, "All right, whatever." And then like I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, "Yo, well, this guy doesn't even smoke." So I ask him like, "Why'd you even steal it?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna give it to my girl." I'm like, "Dude, are we fucking serious right now? You stole a fucking jewel for a girl." And he's like, "Yeah, but it's whatever." So I'm like, "All right, forget it. I didn't see any of this shit." So I get home, I crash out, I go to bed. I wake up Sunday to fucking over 99 messages. Like, how on Instagram it shows like the notifications. There's like over 99. Like that's literally what it says. I'm like, all right, something fucking happened. So I get home, I go to bed instantly. I wake up the next morning to see of my fucking phone blown up with messages. Now I already know what I'm gonna see. I couldn't help but chuckle at that point. So I open up my phone, I look through the entire chat log, and it's just like Jaden, or not Jaden, I'm sorry, Benny freaking out that he got his jewel stolen. Or he didn't know it was stolen at first. He thought it was lost because he asked Andy, like, "Yo, did I leave my jewel over there?" And he's like, "Nah, like, I don't see it. Your pods aren't here either. Are you sure you took it?" He's like, "Yeah, like, I don't have any of it." And he starts asking all of us, like, he's asking me, he's like, "Yo, do you have yours?" I'm like, "Yeah, I still have mine." He's like, "You sure it isn't mine?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm 100% sure it's mine because I went home with it." Nah, he like asked me to send me a pic of my drawer, and I'm like, "All right, bro, like, sure, wherever gets your conscience off the ground." So I send him it. He's like, "All right." And he asks Jaden, and Jaden's like, "Oh no, I'm at a basketball tourney right now." He's like, "Fuck." He's like, "Andy, are you sure you didn't steal it?" And he's like, "No, bro. Like, why would I steal it? I already have my own." He's like, "Do you have the pods at least?" He's like, "No, I only have my pods." So he asked me again. I'm like, "Dude, I don't have shit." And he's like, "Fuck." He's like, "Jaden's busy right now. And he's gonna get home late. So I'm gonna talk to him at school tomorrow. And at this point, I'm like, "Oh shit." So Monday rolls around, right? Then I go to school expecting some fucking shit to go down just because Benny's pissed off about this shit, right? Not only because it's a jewel, but he also paid his money for it. So I get why he's pissed off on it. So we get to school, we go to our classes, whatever. Come lunchtime, Jaden gets there because he had an appointment in the morning. And then at this point, Benny knows like he stole it 100% because he's like, "All right, I trust my other boys. because he asked us too. He's like, "Did you guys like for real steal it?" We're like, "Nah, like if you feel guilty about it, man, we'll give you a couple hits off of it." He's like, "Yo, dude, I appreciate it, but I want my Joe back." So after this, we go out to the cars outside, and then we go to Jaden just because he's there. And then Jaden's like, "Oh no, man, like I don't have that shit." Then Benny's freaking out. He's like, "Well, what the fuck happened to it, Andy? Are you sure it's not like under your bed or some shit?" And Andy's like, "No, dude. Like I fucking checked everywhere." So Benny's even more pissed off. And he's like, "Dude, I'm fucking tired of this shit." And then Benny sits in his car. And then we all get inside of it because it's fucking hot outside. And then we're sitting in it. And then Jaden goes in. He sits next to me in the back seat, passenger side, right? He opens up the door and he reaches inside of his jacket's pocket and he slips a jewel under the seat. Now, at this point, it's the stupidest shit ever. Now, I don't know how Benny even fucking believed this bullshit because all of a sudden, Jaden gets in. And he's like, "Yo, what the fuck is this on the ground?" And Benny looks over. He's like, "My fucking jewel." And I'm like, "Dude, are we serious, man? Like, this is the most unbelievable lie there possibly is." And Benny's fucking rejoicing in joy, pretty much like he got saved by Jesus Christ himself. And Jaden's saying with his biggest smirk on his face because he just escaped probably ending an entire friendship. Now I'm like, fuck it, man. Happy endings do come true sometimes, I guess. From that point on, like that dude Benny legit held his jewel to the side of him at every time, bro. Like he wouldn't let anyone get any hits off of it. He hold it close to himself. Like I'm pretty sure if he ever died, dude, during high school, he would have buried that jewel with him, bro. Like it's crazy. But yeah, that's the end of the story, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. And yes, I am back to creating content. And I'll see you guys Wednesday. All right. I promise. If I'm not here by Wednesday, dude, I'll sacrifice my firstborn. All right. Nah, I'm playing. But seriously, guys, it's great to be back. And I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I have a lot more planned. And then, as I said, I'll see you guys Wednesday, Friday, same routine again. All right. But that's enough of me talking for now. And then I'll see you guys next video. Peace.